Don't be shy, 'cause life won't bring you down too far.
This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. Fight Day, baby.
We're in the bubble.
We're in the bubble.
We're off to Fightcamp.
Absolutely.
We're back 147 days later.
Mad,
back
isn't it?
and ready to go.
It's
I know.
crazy, isn't it?
Insane. I can't wait.
So, just talk to me about the first day, because I know you would have obviously been heavily involved in whatever talks were going on with Eddie to even think about putting this together. So what was the initial conversations?
Well, there's some disputes around the whole Fightcamp thing. When lockdown, just before it started, around March 18th, I think it was, I was sitting in the office and I said, because I remember it vividly, I said, we should build an arena in the garden. And everyone was like, Eddie was on his phone, so went, like that. So, and then, I think it was like late April, he sent a voice note to myself and Ross, and it was like, amazing idea I've just come up with, garden, fight camp, shows, this, that, the other, bish, bash, bosh. And then we put all the plans together, and yeah, it's been a long journey.
So, sorry, in summary to what you just said, basically,
It was my idea.
It was your idea, but Eddie tried to take the credit for it.
Well, it was, I'm not saying like I came up with, I said we'll build an arena in the garden, throwaway comment.
Which is what you've done,
Yeah,
basically.
but throwaway comment.
Yeah.
Just thinking, but he doesn't remember that, so we'll leave it. It was Hearn'S idea.
If it goes well,
It was his idea. If it goes terribly, it
it's
would
his
turn to me.
idea.
I shouldn't have said anything.
it's an idea. But it's been good that Matchroom has kept us updated with kind of from when it was, which wasn't that long ago. Basically, was just what it is.
Yeah.
The fields at the HQ to what it's developed into today. I think you've been obviously here for the last 3 days. Eddie's been here for like 4 or 5 days. So when you guys turn up later on and see kind of the end product, it looks amazing.
Yeah, it does. It's difficult as well. You know, like we put all these plans together, we do all these drawings, but until you actually get there and see it, you don't realise the scale of it. You know, seeing the canopy up, seeing all the stuff we've installed, all the ring walks, everything that's in there, you think, bloody hell, it's a bit bigger than we originally planned. But it's going to be a special night. I think because we do so many shows these days, like every week, it's like show to show, I probably don't get excited enough about things, but this, I'm buzzing for.
Everyone's second guessing how much, just like on the expense tab, this has cost to put together. And that's not really kind of including the purses for fighters. I'm just talking about as a, from start to finish, from everything that you've done.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's a small fortune.
Well, these are a few grand, just in it, just this.
Ask Rossi G.
Rossi G is, M&C Saatchi's Rossi G has really gone over the top with a brand. There's branding everywhere. Like go to the venue tonight, it's literally every wall, there is some logo somewhere. But yeah, it's cost a small fortune, but we wanted to make a difference, it's what we do. We haven't got to this point of building shows, building the sport up, to come back and have no one watching. And boxing really, truly is back in the UK tonight.
A few hours away, so just kind of run everyone through. So everyone is now situated who's been quarantined, and obviously everyone's been coming in at different days. But there are people tonight that will be at the show that will be in their own zone.
Yep.
That will just have come for the night. So yeah.
Yeah. So we've tested just under 100 people here who have been in isolation. Various days they've come in, but they've all gone through the same process. Arrived at the hotel, had their tests, sat in their room for between 12 to 16 hours, get their test results back, can then venture into the various shared areas, like for example here. At the show tonight, you've then got the TV production area, which is about 300 metres away from the main event space. That's completely separate. It's got its own access. No one will mingle between the 2 points. There's 40 people in there who are following certain health and safety and medical regulations that we've put in place with Sky. And then you've probably got another 30 or 40 people who are working in the event space but within a separate area, so just outside of the sort of testing zones. So you'll see it tonight when you get there. There's barriers everywhere which separates everyone from the 2 bits. I'd say we've roughly got about 160, 170 people in total across production, fighters. Now we normally have 350 people at a show. So cut it down hugely. But when you see the work that's gone in, the people, it's probably taken 200 to 300 people to get it to where it is now in terms of production staff. When you see the setup, so it's a big job. But you know, we've followed all of the precautions, all of the protocol we put in place. So exciting.
I'm assuming as the weeks go on, obviously changes will be made. This is kind of almost like a test week for Fightcamp, isn't it? So whatever did work this week and doesn't work, I'm not talking in terms of safety, that's just going to run all the way through, but there are going to be little tweaks here and there. Yeah,
like obviously none of us have ever been through anything like this, so we don't know how to deal with it. So we've put a lot of plans in place, and as you say, now we're going to improve things. We're going to improve stuff for the fighters on site at the hotel, at the show itself. You know, everything's in place now. Maybe for the pay-per-view weekend, we'll add a few extra bits in terms of production. But yeah, we're learning as the weeks go on. You know, and we've learned things this week. We sat down. Everyone who comes in next week will have an even better experience. Not that this week hasn't been, but we're just going to keep adding things to it. So, yeah, lots of learning, and looking forward to the next few weeks as well.
Interesting moment on Sky Sports yesterday involving Eddie Hearn,
okay.
Which was not a setup.
No, it wasn't. He actually did that by accident. Did you see it? His face was hilarious. The thing is, because I always worry about, you know, doing on camera doing something wrong. Now I can always go back to that and go, look, you did this, like, don't judge me.
I like the kind of explanation he gave today that, you know, Sky Sports, you know, it's very like a corporate look and it wasn't great, and he's like, I was like, do you know how many times you swear in an IFL TV interview? And he was like,
does he swear a lot?
I think he does, and if I say, because I swear a lot, but not in the interviews, but in general I swear a lot, but he swears a hell of a lot. But he's obviously maybe more comfortable to sit in front of.
It's done about 3 or 4 million views so far.
On Twitter, yeah, it was put out, clipped out on Twitter and done great numbers, and he was trending all day yesterday.
I looked, I was like, oh, what's he done now? No, he's that's what he's known for. He's a meme now, isn't he? Not a boxing promoter.
A walking, talking meme. Yeah, it's crazy to think like in 3 weeks' time, you got a pay-per-view event here.
Katie Taylor, Delphine Bassoon, the rematch everyone wants. Dillian White, Alexander Povetkin.
Let me just pan up so people can see what we're actually talking about.
A few things. Clay Congo, Bacoli. It's it's exciting.
Bacoli.
Yeah, Bacoli. Sorry, it's exciting to do this. Who would have thought you'd see a pay-per-view show in the garden, in someone's back garden? It's insane. But you know, the whole thing building up to that as well. Like the full 3 weeks building the Fightcamp story. You know, there's so much momentum and hype in this. It's going to be a great 4 weeks. And like I say, I don't get overly excited about much anymore, but this I'm excited about.
Because it's new and it's different.
It's something different, yeah, and it's a challenge as well. It's a test for us to do. You know, we know what we're good at, but for us to come and do this, it's something brand new.
Didn't AJ say that when he came here last?
He said he'd fight. Yeah, he said I'll do that.
Yeah.
It's interesting. We're going to.
I don't know how feasible that would actually be.
I'd like to look at keeping Fightcamp for a little bit longer, if we can, subject to how the next few weeks go in terms of weather and things like that, and you know, working with the council. I'd like to look at keeping it if we can.
I think because obviously everything's got to be taken down after Fightcamp. It's just that it's not somewhere that's going to be. This is almost like a mirror of Saudi, isn't it? The way it's been done.
Yeah. And I think Eddie did an interview with you, or it was maybe somewhere that he said, you know, we'll look at doing this next year as well. So, you know, it's something that we can. This is now a brand in its own right, the Matchroom Fightcamp thing. So we can keep using it and take it all around the place. Maybe we look at new sites for it. And you know, who knows with crowds whether that's going to be September, October, November. Obviously, it was a shame with Boris's announcement yesterday, but obviously that's for the good of the health of the country. So, but you know, we've got to wait and see what happens on that front as well. So, I'm sure we'll see how the next few weeks go, as I say, and then maybe we will look at trying to keep it up if we can.
Okay, Frank, just a little quick catch up before it all kicks into gear later. I think everyone's looking forward to it. Everyone will be eagerly tuning in at home as well.
Yeah, can't wait.
Sky Sports and DAZN.
7 p.m. live on Sky Sports. DAZN 2 p.m. Eastern time. Don't miss it. KUGAN, thank you for coming down and your support as always.
Always grateful to be here. There's only two media here.
He's got a lovely vest on.
Always.
We got KUGAN and Riyadh, and KUGAN, Great to have you, mate.
Just so people we can actually clarify this as you're talking. So, you were allowed 2 media.
Two
here.
media, yeah.
So I know there's a lot of people online going, "Oh, how comes blah blah blah?" But this was the
Yeah, 2 media, and what we did, we put 100 names in a hat, and KUGAN's came out.
yeah. I came out twice actually. So
He did, and then KUGAN said, "I'll give my other slot to Riyadh."
yeah,
So,
yeah. You can take from that what you will.
but Bubble Trouble's back. Bubble Trouble.
I'll be featured in the
We'll be
fourth,
featured in
fourth
the fourth
season.
and
Just,
final. And we're working
We
on a
couldn't work a
special.
deal out.
We're
We couldn't
working
work a
on a
deal out.
special guest for Bubble Trouble in the 4th week as well.
Really?
Yeah,
What? How special?
just someone a bit different.
Boxing special or?
No, just someone outside of
Yeah, I think
outside
that's
the
a great
box.
idea.
You like it?
Yeah, I like that.
Bubble Trouble, as bad as the logo was actually quite a laugh.
Actually, you should keep the logo
Yeah,
because that's what
'cause it
made
makes
it
it.
good.
Well done, Ross Garrity.
Well done, Ross.
Yeah, but tune in tonight. Fight Camp, we're back. Boxing's back. Don't miss it.
Frank Smith, thank you very much. Best of luck.